Dyer's ban. Radiant's ban. Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time. Dyer's pick.
Good evening and welcome to the Mars Dota 2 League, and we are coming to you live from the draft here on a Perfect World servers. My name is Toffees and I'll be bringing you all the action, and I am joined by my co-caster tonight, none other than Ryu Uberus, the discount Matt Damon. How you doing tonight, sir?
10 seconds.
I'm great, Toffees, and got my tea here with me.
5 seconds.
Got your tea, getting all comfortable for what's going to be a nice long night of Dota, guys. It's going to be a good one. Basically, if you don't know the format, the MDL has 2 groups, and we get to see a bunch of them slog it out tonight in a best-of-1 round robin. The top 4 teams from each group advance to a single elimination best-of-3 tournament bracket. So this is a one-and-done game tonight between Vici Gaming and Newbee, and should be a good one. Both teams running with their full roster. You will see on the Vici Gaming side a gentleman named JAL. That is, I have been informed, Ice himself. So both teams sporting their primary rosters. Are you excited about this game, sir?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm looking at Ice's avatar right now. That's Boo. I always love the Dragon Balls.
You do love you know, you heard it here first, guys. Ryu has a affinity for Dragon Balls and as a lover of Game of Thrones. But let's talk a little bit about the draft so far. QoP and Ancient Apparition banned out, the Wisp and the Undying as well. I'm a little curious about that Ancient Apparition ban. Is that something that we normally get to see?
Normally we don't see it a lot of the times, but in situations where there could be maybe potentially, you know, a lot of healers coming out, like the Undying, maybe they were trying to play against it or something, or heal strategies like Witch Doctor, Wisp. It's always great to have that, as well as the possibility you can go aggro, or you can always stop aggro aggressive tri lanes. So it's a great ban. We haven't seen it too many times.
Yeah, it seems a little bit off of the radar, but you never know. Now, here's the first pick, 1 and then 2, as far as Leshrac and the Gyrocopter go. They're both very popular heroes. I think a lot of us are tired of seeing this Leshrac show up in our pubs, and he has been showing up continuously in these games as well. Shadow Fiend and Earthshaker picked up next. What do you think about this first round of picks?
Going to your Leshrac thing, there's 2 heroes that completely annihilate this hero. One is Nyx Assassin. It is great against a hero. Once you have that 4-second mana burn, or you just constantly spam it, he normally goes for a Bloodstone, and he doesn't want to normally go for a BKB, but in certain situations you can make him force him to go to the BKB pretty early on if you have that hero. And also you have the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker, you just get the Blade Mail, and then you just run at Leshrac, and then he's just like, oh crap, can't do anything, and well, we'll see what they want to do.
So 2 possible counters there. Now, they did pick up the Gyrocopter and the Earthshaker. Obviously, Earthshaker, a very popular support in this patch. I just got back from San Francisco, where we just watched the top collegiate teams in North America play, and Earthshaker was in almost every one of those drafts, just for his control potential, the great stuns, and his mobility on the field. How do you think they're looking to use him here?
I mean, I've been seeing it a lot in the offlane, Earthshaker, and I think it's a great hero. You're always able to get EXP when you go into the offlane. That's the biggest problem. That's why you see Clockwork being picked up most of the time. So you're able to not get zoned out so hard in the offlane. Normally, you want to stack the jungle, and you want to use it for somebody else. Normally, like a Shadow Fiend in this case, or maybe even the Gyro, or somebody just to go back into the jungle. But we'll see what they want to do from here on out with the Earthshaker. Yeah, because you could just roam it anywhere. The Shadow Fiend could have a hard time. He could get roamed on all game mid.
Absolutely, and that's a big part of the Shadow Fiend, right? You really want to slow him down because it feels to me so far, and now I'm not the professional here, right? You have far more pro experience than I do, but it seems like this Shadow Fiend is going to have a big burden for making space for the Leshrac, or vice versa. Like, which one do you think is going to be the primary focus for Newbee to try and stop the farm?
I think Leshrac could have been support. He could have been in the support role right here.
That's a fair point.
And then that's why you saw the Shadow Demon ban, and then that's potentially why you saw this Rubik ban as well, or this pick. This could be a counter pick showing that, hey, we're not going to let you run that Leshrac, run that Rubik dual roaming combination. Now they might have to go in for a Bane or something, even if they want to run it as a support. But still, they need support heroes from VG nonetheless, if one, if not two. There's just some food for thought, though.
Yeah, some definite flexibility to that Leshrac pick, which I think is a great point that you bring up. And now we see the Spirit Breaker, a hero named... I don't exactly know why they named him that as far as the lore is concerned, but I know that every time I see him pop up in a game, my personal spirit begins to fall because it's such a strong hero if utilized correctly. Such a good global presence, ability to initiate from just about anywhere. Is that scary at all for Newbee? I mean, right now they've got the Earthshaker stun and they've got the Rubik, which honestly, this telekinesis is a phenomenal spell against Spirit Breaker if you're in the right position to use it.
Oh yeah, three of these heroes are amazing against Spirit Breaker. Gyro's great for zoning him out with his Rocket Barrage early on. Earthshaker, as you say, can disengage these charges, completely put Spirit Breaker in a bad position, as well as the Rubik can just lift him in. I mean, you could still charge too. You won't get the greater bash. It's not that great to steal, but still, it's just funny to watch it. And I've done it before. If you don't do it, don't charge a Spirit Breaker who's charging you. You will lose out on the greater bash because you don't have it. And
so you end up with just a charge.
And then he runs over you. Yeah.
There's a fair amount of good stuff to get control of on the field. Maybe not as much as your Rubik would normally like to have, but like you said, it feels a little bit like a denied pick against Vici. Now here's the Dragon Knight. This is a hero that I feel is very, very strong right now, but I don't, and I will preface with I haven't been able to watch a lot of the European qualifiers because I was in San Francisco for the tournament. I feel like we haven't seen a ton of Dragon Knight.
I think Dindy ran it one game. He went like 6-1, but other than that, I didn't see Dragon Knight as much either. And it's kind of in situations. I think it's just situational. And against the Shadow Fiend, it was against the Shadow Fiend too, right? Normally Shadow Fiend has a great time, and this game we're going to be seeing it again, Shadow Fiend versus DK, and the Shadow Fiend will win this lane, but if they have support rotations like a Rubik or an Earthshaker just coming in, once Dragon Knight hits 6, then Shadow Fiend has to be worried about it, and it just depends on how much pressure they can put on once Dragon Knight gets 6.
Absolutely, and you gotta imagine the Shadow Fiend will have to be scared of a rotating group like Earthshaker and Rubik. I mean, the functionality for an early gank is absolutely powerful with those two, especially because of the control. Earthshaker can just lock out that middle lane, and Dragon Knight with that reduced damage potential that he brings. I don't know. I think the Shadow Fiend is going to have a very tough game here unless he's got a support with his eye on him the whole time.
Right.
So Vengeful Spirit gets picked up by Vici Gaming. Another popular hero here is going to pair out well with all of the right-click damage that will be coming up from Vici. What are these last bans? I saw the Broodmother ban out as well. What do you think so far?
I'm just thinking VG wants to run Lesh support, so Newbee should ban a carry here. And then Newbee, they'll probably go for an offlane hero and just run the Earthshaker as the support roaming around, helping out maybe mid. And so yeah, there's the Darkseer ban, and they should have seen that one coming.
So the Chen is picked up and is going to be, I assume, in the jungle. Does that mean we get a crit shaker here?
Yeah, this will be an offlane Earthshaker. I mean, if you're gonna ban Bounty Hunter last, that shows you that they're potentially going to be picking up a Chen last. And, well, now VG are kind of like, oh, crap. So this is one of the best heroes you can have coupled with Dragon Knight. I mean, yeah, Chen and Dragon Knight, I really want to know their statistics for win rate, but you know, we need a stats person here ASAP. But.
So just for those of us who aren't geniuses at this game, what is about the Dragon Knight Chen combo that makes it so strong?
You can always, okay, so innately Dragon Knight's tanky. You have a Hand of God to always bail you out, and then you always have the Sin back too. So normally it takes a huge amount of burst damage to take a Dragon Knight, but if you have the Chen, who's going to get a mech, who's going to have the Hand of God, and then who can send you back, that's just so much frontline potential tanking coming from the Dragon Knight, and then they have to burst him down because he's going to be on the front lines.
And then a Tusk is picked up by Vici Gaming, a hero that I love to watch played, but I don't feel like I get to see nearly enough. Going to have a lot of teamfight initiation potential, going to have a lot of control. I feel, what do you think? Do you think there's enough stuns and enough pace control on Vici Gaming to deal with what Newbee's got here? Because they have a lot of stun and a lot of lockdown.
This is very interesting, yeah, because VG is going to be like, oh, we're going to run at you all game. We had a Spirit Breaker, and then Shadow Fiend is probably going to get a mech this game. This is a mech game. It's not a Yule's game. You're against a Dragon Knight. You're against a Chen who's going to go mech. And you have a Leshrac potentially pushing down towers. I think Lesh should still only get one in Edict at level 8 or 9 or somewhere along the lines, but... yeah, VG's plan is just going to be running at you. Newbee's just going to be like, all right, we're going to sustain you. We're going to counterplay you because we have the Rubik and we have the Earthshaker as well as Chen with the global heals.
All right, that's it. We're going to load into the game, guys, and I'm going to do everything I can. I've worked the settings to try and keep the lag as far away from us as it possibly can be, but we've got a good game for you in Newbee versus Vici Gaming, the first game of the night here on the English One stream. My name's Toffees. You can find me at Toffees_Dota2, and I'm joined here by Ryu Ubruz. Where can they find you, sir?
You can find me at Ryu's Dota, guys, if you like my cast, which I don't, so it's fine. And this will be a great one, as you're saying.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to see how things go, because I think BG does have to put a lot of pressure on this game because of that last pick Chen, and we'll see how they do. All
right, let's start out with some quick introductions for this Dire side, VG Gaming. We're going to have JAL, also known as Ice, or Ice Cubed, depending on how you want to go with it, playing the Tusk. We're going to have How in the Leshrac. We're going to have Super playing that Shadow Fiend Fenrir on the Vengeful Spirit, and last but not least, FY on the Spirit Breaker.
I'm going to save introductions because
it's about to get real.
Yeah, this is going to...
So Dire's looking for a little bit of action. Newbee seems to smell it out. They're keeping their distance. Super's revealed. He steps out in front and just shows his fiery chest and says, "Step off. This is our house." Meanwhile, the wards go down. He did. He taunted. He said, "Come here. You want some of this?" And both teams are staring each other down. But what a triple stun. Nice play to start it out. They're cut. They're separated. They go into the Tusk Ball, and they're not done. They're chasing. They go in on Moo. Rabbit taking a lot of damage. Will be the first blood. Down he goes. Turns back around. Moo could be next. It started with a triple stun from the Fisher that everyone thought would be enough, but it wasn't. And there's the secondary stun. Follow up from behind. Moo's going to be the second death. And now a Leshrac stun from How, well placed for the escape, and boom, they walk away.
They
when I say
more. They
I know.
Snowball up.
Snowball's up. VG thinks about going back in, but ultimately they walk away with one hell of a start to this game.
All right, that was an amazing fight for VG there. They will, however, get one bounty rune from Moo in the top lane. That'll maybe help him out a little bit here. But, yep, for the side of Newbee, we got Moo handling the Dragon Knight going mid. June going to be handling the Earthshaker off lane. Banana smoked. He just wasted a smoke. I don't know if you just saw that. And playing the Chen here, Banana is. And Sansheng going to be playing the Rubik. And last but not least, Rabbit will be handling your Gyrocopter.
Should be good. We'll pull up the last hit tonight chart for you guys to keep an eye on the CS as this thing breaks out. Looks like Ice might have a little bit of trouble here in the off-lane position. Of these lanes, when you think about them, which one do you think is going to be the most important for a team to actually win the lane?
I think it's more so shutting down this Chen. Make sure he doesn't get a fast mechanism. FY is going to be doing the role of normally what he does as a bounty hunter, shutting him down as much as he can. You see the sentries and the amount of wards, so much hate going on the side of Newbee.
Ooh, June under attack on the top lane. Fenrir opened up with the stun, followed by Leshrac. One more will do it, and down he goes. Beautiful play. Nice initiation. Tough off lane for an Earthshaker.
Yeah, this is pretty good. And like I was saying, they don't have that many counters to the Leshrac, right? As I said, Nyx Assassin and Bloodseeker are probably the two best, but they're just going to be relying a lot on the heavy burst damage coming in from the gyrocopter.
Absolutely. So far, 3-0. VG off to a great start, and they're going on Sansheng. Picked up, thrown back. Doesn't matter because they've got the ball, but they decide not to chase in too deep. Rabbit has to blow that rocket barrage to force them backwards. And VG showing right from the get-go on this lane that they are not scared to engage, and Newbee is going to have to play it very, very safe. Meanwhile, Rune on the top, another engagement. Fenrir came in, but a good Fisher actually blocks him off of the Rune. Lets Dragon Knight get firm control as he fills up his bottle.
Yeah, that was a good play because Fenrir did stun him, and he would have stole the Rune potentially. So they will, however, pick up the bottom Rune, and that'll be regeneration for Ice here. He's level 3 already, and he's roaming. He's saving his last skill point, too. I mean, Frozen Sigil is nice. It gives you 10% move slow, and the attack slow is nice. And mid lane, Ice is just doing Ice things. He's not going to be able to get a kill here. Dragon Knight is way too tanky.
I'm a little bit worried about FY right now. He's picked up, thrown back with telekinesis. Rabbit was waiting for him, but he will be able to charge away to safety as they use the telekinesis for the engagement and not to prevent the escape.
Well, they're coming back. They have lift in 10 seconds, though, so there's going to be no kill on FY, as well as Chen only being level 1 here.
Yeah.
Oh, top lane, stun.
Nice. Fisher escape, but almost gets him. What a shot. I'll tell you what, man. That spell, Lightning Storm, is just such a frustrating spell to lane against right now.
Oh, it's got to be the most annoying. And normally you're praying, like, please, Leshrac, no mid lane. And then he's safe lane here, causing hell for your Earthshaker.
Mm-hmm. So let's take a quick look at the CS. Right now, Leshrac winning the game at 19-10, doing very, very well. Up on that top lane is the poor Earthshaker hasn't had a chance to really get in there and do much. He's only 2-0 and not really keeping pace on levels. He's still level 2. Meanwhile, over in the mid matchup, we've got Moo at 16-5 and Super is at 16-3. So still fairly evenly matched between these two. Does that sound about right to you?
Yeah, I would say the Shadow Fiend should be coming out more ahead on this, but yeah, this is interesting because they did get the early, the gold from the first bloods, and they kind of split. He didn't get any of the kills from Shadow Fiend, but he still got, you know, the EXP and the gold. So it's kind of confusing me how he's kind of not winning as much as he should be.
As much as you think he would be at this point. It is still 3-0. VG doing a good job of getting that early lead and maintaining it, but haven't really stretched it out too much. Now, Ice has to be careful here. There is a rotation coming in. They're pinging him out. Here comes the Centaur. Rabbit on the chase, but it looks like they're not going to get in range. Ice pops that sixth sense of his and finds the zoning to not get caught by that gank. Meanwhile, speaking of, Super looks like he might be in a little bit of trouble as June is looking to get the wraparound. Moo goes ahead and pops his ultimate, level 6, starts to put some damage on the tower. He does have the backup of June hiding in the wings if Super decides to come too far forward.
Yep. All eyes on mid lane. I mean, he still has a lot of raises to work with here, too. So
now we do have the charge coming in from the Spirit Breaker towards Moo. Uses the stun and backs off. It looked like he was pinged, so I think they saw him pop the charge and decided just to back away.
Yep. First dragon form only got about 1/6 the damage on mid tower. Yeah. That's not what you want. And maybe they should have rotated over the Chen and the Rubik instead of going for the bottom kill, and that would have been more time well spent in my mind.
Absolutely. So it looks like the top, they're saying someone get up there and defend it, somebody get that XP. Meanwhile, down on the bottom, 33-14 for Rabbit, who's made the most out of those rotations and has been really trying to put some extra pressure on Ice, who is level 3, 10-1, falling a little bit behind in this lane, but maybe not as far as I thought he might.
Yeah, it's interesting. I thought Ice would get less than the Earthshaker, in which case they're about even right about now.
Uh-oh, here comes a potential engagement. Sees Banana, sees Moo. Here's the charge from FY. He goes through, decides not to go to the high ground, pops Banana from the backside. Moo coming in, though, wants to get the intercept, goes for the invis rune, puts it into a bottle, wants to chase FY. FY wants to charge, but doesn't have the mana. The stun is there. Telekinesis up, down. One more right click will finish the job. No, it won't, because... Oh, yes, it does. FY goes down to the Fisher. Nice play, but the turnaround is happening on Moo. Moo trying to run, pops the invis rune. Now it's a chase on June. They lost the Chen. They lost the Earthshaker, and they lost the Centaur, and it goes a 1 for 2 basically, and VG can maintains a significant lead at 6-1 in this game.
Yeah, the AoE coming out from Lesh and Shadow Fiend, that's... I mean, you might have gotten the Spirit Breaker, but definitely not worth it in the end.
Gold lead is up to about 2K for VG here at the 7-minute mark. XP is starting to fall into their favor as well. Definitely out. They got some good wards on the map, making sure that they're in map control. And Ice is still fighting to stay ahead of that Earthshaker and doing so very effectively right now.
Oh, mid lane, they popped the ulti. Moo didn't stun though. That's kind of
Fenrir's in some trouble. Went a little too deep. Got caught outside. Nice play by the Earthshaker, but it's not over yet as FY makes the charge. Ice wants to turn back around and go on Rabbit. Moose TP'd in. Pops the ultimate. Starts to burn him down. This could be the end of Ice. It is.
Split Earth missed.
Split Earth missed, and now Hal's got to run. Rabbit says, oh, we want to get the kill. Moo tries to close, and they're going to get it if they can. Yep, there's the distance. Rabbit lives from the high ground, and it's a beautiful triple.
That's the new effect of Elder Dragon Form 2 coming into play. I didn't think I'd ever see that, where the poison damage, well, is fatal now, and it killed Leshrac there. That was a great turnaround from Newbee. So VG getting aggressive, and now they're on the back foot.
Yeah, 5-6. So right, just like that, Newbee's right back into this game, and VG says, well, if you're going to make that big rotation, I'll at least put some damage on your tower. So he does have the tower lower, then the Dragon Knight's be able to get his, so a little bit of a kudos to Super for trying to really expand on the space that they gave him there. Fills the bottle back up, is going to head back over to the mid position. Gold lead has gone from that 2,500 lead down to a mere 500. Here comes Moo, wants Super, right, left, gets up the stun, tries to go with the right clicks, call down, comes into play, but Super steps outside of it. Moo and Super head to head, both are low, the charge is in play. Super tries to back off, using those bottle charges. Moo says, I can't stick around, but it's too late. He's been found, he's been rotated on, and he has been obliterated.
Yep, and even if the rocket, or the call down hit, Super still had Magic Wand charges to work with. Bottom lane, though, they have a fissure. They're kind of rotating around. Rabbit doesn't have his call down anymore, and Ice doing a really good job now. He's level 6 here. He's up to... I wonder what his first item's going to be. He's up to 900 gold now. I mean, Medallion's not too bad, but you have the Venge for it already. I think Phase... No? Arcane. Huh.
Yes, the Arcane going for that. Maybe looking to build himself some of those sweet new Greaves. Not a terrible idea with the way he's going to be rolling into the middle of the fights. Could be pretty helpful there. Continues that farm. Let's see where we at over the rest of the map. It looks like Shadow Fiend has taken over the CS. Let's flip over to the net worth chart and see what the stack looks like. Shadow Fiend on top at 4.1. The Gyrocopter at 3.9, so still really a fairly even game with the exception of that Earthshaker falling way, I don't want to say way behind, but falling decently behind Ice.
Yeah, and normally you would see Earthshaker being able to fissure block, being able to pull back the lane, he'd have a better time, but not the case. And let's look at the Chen. How's his recovery? You know, he's got 800 gold, level 5, Banana, not having a great game here.
No, definitely not the Chen start that you want to see. It was harassed very effectively by that Spirit Breaker in the early game. He just hasn't been able to make those early pushes work. So Dire with some great aggressive vision, looks like they may choose to start pushing the tower here pretty soon. Meanwhile, Moo does have the backup. June was standing around making sure that he was safe as he has his ultimate up and looks like he may be interested in putting some damage on the tower right now. They're pinging him out. They're saying maybe this is the chance to go on him. Super coming back around. He's the one to make the ping. And just like that, Moo will head towards the bottom. So it looks like they'll use that Dragon Form to push up on this bottom tower. They've got 3 already rotated there. The damage is going to start going out. Glyph is popped. Moo decides it's not the fight for him to be involved with as the Chen army continues to stand around and wail on this thing.
Yep, and I think Moo made the right decision to stay middle here, else Shadow Fiend would take the tower.
Absolutely.
He has to stay around. I thought they might smoke gank around middle and do something, but instead, they just rotated bottom. They didn't get the tower, and I honestly think they could have had this tier 1 tower down if they had just ganked Shadow Fiend.
Might have been a nice push, but they decide to fade away, and it looks like they're going to make a strong rotation here as June and Sansheng follow Banana through the trees. Meanwhile, it looks like a counter push as Ice and Hao start to lean into the next tower, leaving Rabbit there by his lonesome, and immediately it calls back the smoke. So wrap around from Banana, June, Sansheng, they're pinging out Ice. He came forward. They see him, picks up. Oh no, a little bit of an overlayer there on the stuns. Will it be enough? It will. Ice will still go down, though a bit of miscommunication on the side of Newbee.
Yep, Dragon Eye just TP'd bottom here. So this is the go time for Super to push mid. This is going to be a tier 1 for maybe potentially even 2, because Fidner is pushing top.
Fidner's hitting the top awful hard, so they got to be very careful here because they may lose 2 and not even get 1 if they don't hurry up and get this push going. So Super's about to finish off the first tower. Actually, he stops and walks away as the rotation comes in and will allow for the deny.
Yep.
So
this should be a great rotation.
Definitely was not willing to risk his life, which I think was probably a good choice. Now we see FY and Super head up towards the top lane, and that bottom tower that they were pushing on still standing.
Interesting. So far, I would say Viji's coming out ahead early on here because they almost have the mechanism on Super already. Whereas the Chen,
he's stuck in the trees.
Oh.
Do they have a chance to make a move on? There they go. They get the vision. Lestrak's going to pop him and just send a little message and back away. Not willing to go in on him with that dragon form up and running. It is about to fall off, though. And now we see an immediate rotation from June and Banana as they see dragon form starting to tick down and want to head over to the jungle to try and put a stop to what Ice and Hao are up to.
Yeah. And notice Hao's build this game. He didn't put anything in Pulse Nova. He really wanted one in Edict. I think the build is maybe 3 in Split Earth, and then at least get 1 in Pulse Nova. Pulse Nova is amazing, especially now that he has the Soul Ring. But he really needs to get the level 10. Obviously, once you get 10, it'll be really easy to get level 11.
Right.
Because that EXP. And, well, it just feels like VG has more map control right now.
Big swap. What a nice play into Rabbit. He is going to go down here. Oh, puts up the call down. It is going to attach 3, but there goes the ulti from Super. June was doing a TP in to maybe stop a little bit and threw the Fisher down a second too late. But actually it was a really great combo played by FY and Fenrir there to swap him out of the tower into the charge. And it was very well timed, very well executed, and resulted in a dead gyrocopter, which really is going to be detrimental. Oh, speaking of detrimental, we see a smoke rotation. Ice throws back the ice, but it won't be enough. He's down. Stun comes out. It catches Shen. Now Jal can turn. They get 1 down. He goes immediately into his snowball, wants to chase, going deep. Decides it's not worth the trouble. He's stuck with the stun by the Centaur. 1, 2. Poison comes out. It may be lethal for a second time. It is. Down he goes. Lestrak now has to make his run. Rabbit has arrived, wants vengeance for the top lane. Chasing's putting out the stun. Nice swap by Fenrir. Beautiful play to get him out of trouble. And Super's not interested in walking away. He wants to come into, chases them all backwards, and walks forward with complete and total swagger. As let's talk about that
charge. Oh, he just thought FY stuck.
Oh,
they have vision too.
And he's going to TP away immediately. Smart play there, but let's talk about that swap play by Fenrir. Who's both of his swaps that we've seen in the last 3 minutes have been absolutely phenomenal.
Yep, he's already playing a good game, and when your Vengeance is playing great early on, then the later stage of the game is looking great as well. And that just went to Lesh not having the ultimate. It really cost him there. He could have just ran in on the Chin and the Dragon Knight and just cause a lot more havoc, but him not having that there really cost him that team fight.
Absolutely, and VG continues to march forward. Their gold lead is up to almost 4,500, so feeling pretty good about that at this point. XP is going to be at their advantage as well. Look at Shadow Fiend's farm compared to everybody else. He's almost at 8k. There he is. He passes the 8k mark with that Shadow Rays, and eclipses, and I'm going to use the word eclipse because I feel like he really is, the Gyrocopter and the Dragon Knight, who are both at 5.5 and 5.6 respectively. That's a pretty big lead.
Yeah, 2.5 up on them is huge right now, and they can even do Roche. They smoked under a ward though.
They smoke under the ward. Okay.
So they might be baiting. They'll be like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Roche. Yep, we might be hunting you." It's kind of a scary situation to be in. They could either be Roshing or they can be. Well, here comes a scout from Chen. So. That'll at least figure that out.
So Chen Scout will go in. They now know that their time is limited to make this smoke pay off. Ping out on the middle lane, thinking about going. They're going to find the Centaur army. And all smokes are going to be revealed. We'll see a little throw from Ice to say, where you at? Not going to catch anybody. And they decide, we're going to kill some Centaurs if we're going to use a smoke. And they get the double. So that's 2 dead Centaurs with some extra gold going towards Ice. And a kind of a blow to Chen. How big of a blow is it to lose your army?
It can just get more. It's not too big of a deal, but when they farm out your jungle and then you don't have any creeps, and then potentially they're getting Roshan, or you might need to fight or defend, that's a huge detriment. So, yeah, taking out his army there it's going to hurt him if they really do want to fight right now. Absolutely.
Centaurs wrecked. Chat said it eloquently. And now we're going to roll into the pit where Super is going to take the lead, and they're going to start to really push down on this Roche. Meanwhile, on the bottom, FY knows he can join the fight anytime he wants, so he's going to try to split push a lane, add a little pressure to it. Up on top, looks like Rabbit and Moo, so we're not interested in stopping the Roche. Let's try to get a tower out of this. Do you think that's the right decision for them?
I don't know if it's the right decision to trade. They can still defend, but they don't have Mechanism online, but they will have the Aegis. They can mass TP. And no, it's just going to be too late. Fortify's down. And it's just taking too long to do Roche. They don't have a medallion. If they had a medallion there, they could have done Roche at least 10 to 15 seconds faster.
So do you think in that trade, Aegis, I assume, comes away stronger than the loss of the top tower?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They don't have any other map control either. So it's like you trade one tower, but you still have your other 2 tier 1s up.
So let's take a quick look at the vision on the map right now. This is what Radiant is seeing. This is what the Dire is seeing. You can see a pretty vast difference between those two in terms of Dire's just basic vision control on this map. Pretty phenomenal. Gold lead for Vici is cracked up to almost 5.5k. XP has pushed past the 5,000 mark, and the aggression will not stop as Super leads in on Moo. Moo's getting charged from a distance. There's the Ice from Ice. Ice. He actually catches Moo in a tree lock, but nobody wants to engage on it, so they do decide to just back away from that dangerous situation. They lost vision, especially on June and Sansheng, who were off of vision on the map.
Oh my goodness. Super already has a BKB.
That's pretty super.
This is not looking great. It'll be... Dragon Knight almost has his BKB though, so a lot of their damage is going to be mitigated. You will have a lot of things to go through it though. You have Tusk Walrus Punch. It can go through it. You have Spirit Breaker's Charge as well as Nether Strike. There's a lot of ways for them to lock him down, but the physical DPS from VG isn't there yet. They only have kind of defensive items right now. You can see Shadow Fiend, right. He has the mech and the BKB. He's not really hitting for that much, only about 160. Normally you want to have about, I would say 300, then you'll start like chipping away at this Dragon Knight pretty easily. But they have a lot of minus armor, so...
Well, and that's the big fear that you have with the Vengeful Spirit to a certain extent, right? Is right now, their physical damage isn't that high, but all it takes is 3 skill points and a couple of items, and that changes dramatically. But here's the roll. They go in deep. Lands the Echo Slam, but will it be enough? I don't think so. The charge is real. Goes through, pops Rabbit, transfers to June. June's in trouble. Is going to get the Greater Bash. He goes down as well, but the fight's not over. FY caught in the middle of it, wants to try to get away. The rest of the team tries to come to help. Fenrir swaps Moo into death. Moo's going to go down, so now it's a 3 for what will likely be 1.
FY even gets away,
He got away! He escaped!
He's
Brutal. That was a fight that we would describe as nothing short of brutal, as 3 go down on the side of Newbee, and the one that they tried to kill manages to escape. And look at this, VG's just going to stand here and wait for their creep wave. They're not even worried about it.
Yeah, you saw Super there not having the best Requiem, but it's nice just to slow down the DK, taking away his damage. They didn't really need it for that team fight, and that's just how strong they are. When you're using a Shadow Fiend Requiem just to slow down the enemy, it's already a 1 fight.
Absolutely, and if anybody gets a prize for creating space in which to massacre your opponent, that is given to FY, because that was pretty phenomenal.
I mean, him and Ice are definitely going to be doing a lot of cool plays, charging in, charging out. Yeah. I mean, snowballing, and as well, if they get even a little bit out of position, as you've stated, Vin's playing a great game.
Hao comes around and finds Chen trying to farm, and just like that, the Chen army is completely eradicated again.
Jeez, dude.
Except for this little guy.
I feel so bad for him.
Right? I mean, he's sitting on his mech and his ring of Bassi, and that's it. It's a tough 20 minutes for these guys. Gold lead, by the way, has jumped up to almost 10,000 for Vici Gaming. XP is at that progression as well.
Charge bottom lane. They have vision of of Rabbit. He blocks him off too. He doesn't even damage Rabbit.
Goes in, doesn't even care about the attacks. Nice call downs, gonna catch 2. Ice gets out of it.
Mail.
Does have a blade mail, knocks him back, wants to go. Rabbit stunned. Rabbit rocked. And now the fight's not over because there's the swap to June inside of the ice, and he has to go the long way around. Stun will finish the job. Now we see Moo come in, pop the BKB. Super's got his. Requiem goes off. Everyone's low, but they don't even care. Vici Gaming says, we'll stick around. I'll plays with you. And now the rotation towards the mid. They got that bottom tower. They know they're a little low on life, so they don't want to push to the high ground. And they'll immediately head towards the middle lane and take out this tower as well. What team play by VG? The swaps, the ice shards have just been phenomenally well played, and honestly, I love what I'm watching, but as of now, I got to give my MVP to this point in the game to Fenrir, who I think has been playing a phenomenal support position.
Yeah, I mean, How doesn't even have, he's only got 9 Bloodstone charges. Can't give him MVP. He should have 13 or 14 by now. No. But yeah, they're just dominating. They just stole the stack. I mean, that's just cruel. They're just no mercy coming in the side from VG now.
No, this is Vici Gaming. They play Pro Evolution Soccer and destroy people in Dota, and that's what we've learned over the last few weeks of watching them play in these big tournaments. Gold lead, by the way, has jumped up to 13,000 after that exchange, and XP has as well. Let's look at some items, see if there's anything big ticket out. Black King Bar about to be done on Rabbit, so he is pretty desperate to get his hands on that right now. So the mech on Chen, and the Dragon Knight has his BKB, Earthshaker with a Blink Dagger, but that is it for the Newbee guys. The opposite side of the map, VG's got his Bloodstone finished up, mech and BKB, and a Yasha on the Shadow Fiend. I mean, this is the definition of a runaway at this point.
Yeah, but Newbee have a chance to come back. They have Earthshaker. He has his Blink Dagger. June can make a lot of these big plays. Rabbit has his BKB finished in about 80 gold, and these are the things that will allow them to make the plays happen, right? You have 2 BKB frontliners in the Dragon Knight, in the Gyrocopter. You also have the Earthshaker with the Fissures, as well as the potential Blink-In Echo Slam. I mean, if VG group up and they don't BKB preemptively, then they could be totally wiped out by this AoE from Newbee.
Right, so we'll keep an eye on this as it continues. VG extending their lead. Remember, this is a best-of-1 round robin, guys. So there's no VG and Newbee will not see each other again until the tournament phase if they both advance. So winner takes all. It does have a little bit of a maybe encouragement to pull out some of those pockets, but
yeah, every game matters.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get. I want to say maybe not every single game matters because, as you stated, 4 of the 5 people will stay. So the 5th team is eliminated. Technically, you could be playing for 4th or 3rd place, and it wouldn't matter too much, but still.
And it does lead to some interesting... We'll see how the games go tomorrow as we kind of roll into the back end of the group stages. Will there be teams that maybe try as hard once they secure the top position, or vice versa, or try to stack out that...
Give me Pudge. I'll give Pudge.
Give me Pudge. You know, it's always fun to see. I think everybody loves seeing a Pudge as long as it's not in a game with them.
Oh, yeah. Pudge tech, dude. Play against that. That's fun stuff.
I've played against it. It's never very effective. Alright, so Super and Ice going to go ahead and farm their opponent's jungle. Meanwhile, FY is going to push the opposite lane, and it looks like all Newbee can do is sort of gather up, try to make things happen, kill an Ancient if they can. I mean, what is Newbee's option? Like, how do they get back in this?
Honestly, it might be smoke ganking them once they know Roche is almost about to be up, and... Well, this is one of the plays. They're going to try to pick somebody off, and this is kind of good positioning from FY. He'll still probably get picked off if they blink.
There's the blink. There's the stun. Opens up. They want to move on FY. Echo Slam used to secure the kill as they lock him in place as much as possible, and that's what you got to do to get the kill on FY. So vengeance achieved from his escape on the bottom lane. A single pickoff, and it does swing the gold about 1,500 into their favor, but... is that really enough? Because when you look at the other lanes, the creeps are pushing, everyone else is farming, and while you rotated your whole team into a smoke on top, VG was spread out, getting their gold.
Yep. Ice, having that Glimmer Cape. We haven't talked about it yet, but this is going to be amazing against all their heroes, too. I mean, it negates everything Earthshaker and Gyro are doing. Most of the support play from Chen and Rubik is all magical, too, so this is just looking really good game for a Glimmer Cape, and I thought he might go for a Blink Dagger, but this is definitely the better call. Going for the Arcane Boots. He could have even skipped the jumps and then went for Glimmer Cape, but still so far ahead. Had the extra movement speed, and now the Glimmer.
Glimmer Cape often considered a very, very strong item in this patch. What is it about the Glimmer Cape that's making so many pros angry?
When you have magic-based heroes like Zeus or maybe even Leshrac to a certain extent, then you just pop Glimmer Cape and he's pretty much invulnerable for those 5 seconds, and it's just really annoying to play against because you're like, oh, that's all my burst damage gone from Zeus ulti and Bolt and everything.
Right. Makes sense to me. Plus, you got the added frustration of the invisibility. I think added onto that.
Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about the most broken part. I guess is the invisibility.
Right. So lots of things to really kind of I think just make a lot of folks angry at that particular item, but very strong, especially if the other team is going to stack that magic damage. So. Interesting drafts here. Fenrir does have the Medallion of Courage. No big surprise there, as he looks like he is stuck in the hard 5 position. Not much farm to his name. Gold lead has jumped up to about 15,000. XP at about the same as Fenrir camps out and waits for the Roche respawn. Meanwhile, up on the top lane, Hao is going to go ahead and rock the split push using that new Immortal, which I got to be honest, I don't love the color scheme, but I do think it makes it easier to last hit with. That fulcrum point on the animation has been a blessing. If that makes sense. Before he sort of wound up his arm and had an uncomfortable toss that always bothered me. Alright, Super of the mid is going to fall back as he looks like they're trying to make a choice. They're going to go after the Roche here. They're rotating around to join each other in the middle lane. Is it push time?
I got to check something. I'll be right real quick.
Alright. So it looks like it's a bounce between Roche / push. Let's try to maintain the area. Good job of getting out there and dewarding the sentry as soon as it went down. Fenrir with that gem putting in some serious work. Meanwhile, in the opponent's jungle, we've got Banana and Sansheng on standby looking to contest this, knowing that they give up this Roche. It could be the end of them. Go out. They get the ward knocked down. They do get hit with the ice from Ice Cube. As he forces them backwards. They don't seem to have the potential to engage here. They're just on standby, maybe making the guys from VG a little bit nervous. But with 4 in the pit, I don't know what Newbee can do to contest it. And here comes Hao, the master of the AoE himself, if they need him on standby. So they just will go down and be put into the hands of the Shadow Fiend. Super rolls out with that Sanjasha, the Aegis, and now a Talisman of Evasion, and gets ready to start to fight this thing out. Bottom lane, he'll roll down for the push. Meanwhile, the rest of VG looks like they may... a little bit of scattered movement there as they head towards the middle lane, leaving Super to do his thing down on the bottom. Meanwhile, we do have June hiding in the trees. Going to have to just wait it out and not leave until after the wave goes by. Doesn't want to get himself revealed. Going to slow the wave down, so a nice play there to try and stop the push. Buy some time to stop Hao and Ice as they start to push up the middle position.
Oh yeah. This is... just systematic. Now that they have the Aegis online, it's just depending on how far they're going to dive. What level is Fenrir? This is a really big key. He has the gem, so maybe suiciding isn't the best idea, but still, another swap level 2 here. That's probably going to be their biggest initiation factor. They really need him to be the sacrifice to find a good initiation.
Yeah, but you know...
I could counter-initiate, yeah.
And it doesn't kill him to lose the gem too much with how far away up they are right now. Here's the engagement. They go on Super. Nice Fisher to split the difference. Super dropping pretty low, gets picked up, thrown back. Keep in mind he's got the Aegis. Swap comes out. Mu is in deep. Pops the BKB. Hit with the stun. Nice counter swap played by the Rubik, but that puts him in way too far. He's going to go down. Super wants to move on Mu. Trying to get off his ultimate. Going to go down there. Nice Echo Slam. Catches a lot, but will it be enough? Stun comes in. Down goes Mu. There we follow with the Earthshaker. He's going to go down as well. Quick buyback on him. Hao starts the push, wants to take these towers, and they're going to motivate right through it. Super swinging for over 200 damage. Starts to eat his way through the tower, eat his way through the racks. The buyback on the Earthshaker did a little bit of slow, but all it did was really scare them. There is a buyback on the Dragon Knight, but he has no intention of using it, it looks like. They're just going to go ahead and yield these racks.
Yep, that was really well played from Rubik as well. Both swaps were amazing, and it just, Newbee has no damage. They really can't do anything.
Here comes an engagement, double, nope. I thought they might go, but they didn't. I'm sorry, continue.
No, it's just, they can't really do anything when they don't have the Echo Slam. All their, it feels like Chen, Rubik, and Earthshaker are just useless at this point, and then with no damage items on the Dragon Knight or the Gyro, there's little they can really do.
Absolutely, and with a strong Fisher slash decent Echo Slam, it still wasn't enough really to force VG back. Even a great steal by the Rubik on the swap to disengage his Dragon Knight, and Dragon Knight still went down for the count. That said, Gyrocopter has picked up a Sanjiasha. 31 minutes, I'm not a stat man, but I'm going to say it's a little bit late. Swaps Moo, pops the BKB, damage on Moo. Moo's got nowhere to go, the Ice Path, the Ice Shards are out. He does get healed by the mech. They've lost Fenrir, but Super's going in deep. Pops his BKB, blows his ultimate, tries to get out, walks the wrong way. Caught in place by the Fisher. Call down's going to get the double. Super picked up, thrown back. There's the move on Sunshang. He's going to go down. June comes in to try and make it happen. Super gets the right click. He drops the Earthshaker and almost gets away, but doesn't quite get there. It ends up being a 3 for the price of 2, but these guys can stick around and finish the tower. Moo's going to pop the ulti. Are they going to walk away? They aren't. FY goes for the charge, gets stunned on the way in, pulls up the Ice Charge, locks him in place. How goes for the stun? Not going to hit it. Moo has to keep running, gets knocked into the Leshrac stun. Nowhere to go. Back to base, but not the way he wanted. The GG comes out from Newbee, and VG takes the first game in this round-robin tournament. Well played by Vici Gaming.
Yep, that was just an all-around clinic put on.
Boom. Yeah.
Just really well played. From start to finish, shutting down Chen early on. They had mass wards, sentries everywhere placed. Spearbreaker always had tabs on him. Earthshaker fed top lane, didn't get much done. Was level 2 at like 6 or 7 minutes in the game as an offlane Earthshaker. That's horrible. And then mid lane, Shadow Fiend just balled out of control, as I suspected from the Dragon Knight pick. But the biggest problem for me this game was just Newbee's play. They decided to rotate bottom lane with 2 of their smokes, maybe even 3 potentially. I know the first 2 they went to bottom lane when they potentially could have went mid lane, wrapped around, killed the Shadow Fiend, got the tower. I mean, that tower, the first Dragon Knight ulti only got 1/6 of the tower HP. That's not what you want. At least get it, force a glyph out, get it down to 1/4 or 1/3 the HP, and then come back and finish it off with the next one. But their rotations in the early game really sealed the deal for me.
Absolutely. So what a game. Not a bad way to start the night, guys. We'll be here for the rest of the evening, bringing you all the action here in the Mars Dota 2 League. My name's Toffees. You can find me at Toffees_Dota 2. And I am joined by my co-caster, Raya Ubruz. Where can these folks find you?
Follow me at Raya Dota. That's on Twitter. And thanks for watching, guys. We will be back.
Back with more Dota after this, so stick around. And if you like the cast, let us know. If not, feel free to send me the feedback on Twitter or anywhere else you like. That said, stick around. Toffee's out.
you have money, you can buy anything. It's fun.
If you have money, you can buy anything.